We found some more amazing secrets in Jedi Survivor that you probably didn't know about, including a very well hidden collectible, a trick to get a free Stim canister, and way more. But first, I want to start by apologizing for something I said in the last video, because I might have accidentally led some people to their death. I talked about the Bramlicks and their secret bite attack they perform when you hold them for too long, and said that it didn't deal that much damage. Well, turns out that if you play the game on Grandmaster, that is very much not the case. No, this attack will instantly kill you on the highest difficulty, so you really don't want to hold on to them for too long, or else you'll get eaten. Again, apologies if that happened to you, and thanks to Midas, Cameron, and others for letting us know. Another thing I mentioned in that video is that you can speed up while using a zipline by holding R2 or RT. But you can actually also slow down by holding the left trigger for if you maybe want to take in the sights, as commented by Switchlight under our previous video. If you are in a hurry though, dashing towards a zipline will immediately blast you off with full speed, so the same speed as if you were boosting, although if you don't hold down the button, you will slow down to regular speed after a little bit. And you can use a similar trick with the flying Relters. Normally, you'd stand underneath one and then jump up, after which the creature flaps its wings a bit before gliding. But if you dash into it, it will immediately start moving forward with a little speed boost. Shout out to Joshua for sharing this in the comments. But arguably, the biggest secret we've discovered thanks to your input is a very well hidden priorite shard on Kobo. You of course need to find all of them if you want to purchase all of Doma's merchandise for the Splurgle trophy, and there was one in particular that a lot of people had trouble finding. It's located in the stables on Kobo, and you actually need to bring a rare type of Neko here in order to get the priorite shard. According to Pro Game Guide, Nekos with a brightly colored fur count as rare, so anything purple, pink, green, red, or gold will do. Bring it to the stable so you get the notification that it is stabled, then head to the nearby meditation point under the saloon, rest, and come back to the stables. You should see a pretty impressive pile of dung in the stable now, with a button prompt showing you can force lift it. Doing so will free up the priorite shard hidden inside so you can pick it up. Just make sure you wash your hands afterwards, and thanks to Mandrew for telling us about this. And if you have trouble finding one of these rare Nekos, an easy way to get one to spawn is to use the same meditation point under the saloon I mentioned and checking inside the fence next to the stable. There are always 2 Nekos here, and every time you rest, their colors swap, so you can just keep doing this until you find one you need. I found another rare one here, so I can confirm those do spawn in this spot. Meaning that if you don't get lucky and run into a rare Neko out in the wilds, you can use this trick to still grab yourself the priorite shard. If you're less about treasure hunting and more about immersion, you probably already tried playing the game with the HUD turned off. This will of course make the game a lot harder, as you have no way to tell how your enemies are doing health-wise. But did you know that while your health bar also disappears if you turn off the HUD, you can still tell when you need to heal if you pay close attention to BD1. You see, the lights on the back of his head will turn red when your health reaches critical levels, meaning anytime you see that, you want to use a Stim canister. But yeah, I think this is a really cool touch, as it makes the game much more playable without having a health bar. You might not be able to tell exactly how much you have left, but at least you know when it's important to back up and heal. Credits to that one soldier on Reddit for finding this out, by the way. And on the note of healing, Jordan has a very clever trick to share that you can use to grab yourself an extra Stim canister, so take it away.
Yes, and there are even more things I want to go over. Of course, if you like the video so far, then leaving a like would be amazing, and subscribe for way more Jedi Survivor content like this. So first, that trick from John in the comments under our previous video. If you namely got the Fellowship perk, you can get an extra Stim canister without wasting any perk points. So you get this perk from the meditation chamber over here on the map in Kobo, climb up using a mount, and then you will eventually reach it. So you do not immediately get an extra Stim after equipping it, but if you have it equipped and then rest, you will see the extra Stim. But turns out that if you then unequip the perk and put on another one, you still have the extra Stim while not wasting 3 perk slots on that perk. So you can equip a different perk instead. This combo means that you can go up to a max of 13 stims instead of 12, and you can always repeat this. Just make sure that you equip the perk first and then rest at the meditation point, so we'll get to 13 again, then switch out the perks and you're good to go. Now worth noting is that if you don't have the maximum amount of stims yet, you can still do this tactic. You'll just always get one extra. So it's really nice. Another nice tactic that I don't think has a downside is from Justin, who reached out via Twitter with a crazy improved XP farm at the Derelict Dam meditation point in Kobo, which of course over here on the map. So now instead of going to the creature that we talked about before, you want to head to the raider with the hammer instead. That will spawn a little later on in the game. And then stand like this, so it will charge towards you, dodge that attack, then lift it up and shoot it once with your blaster to push it off the edge, and this will give you double the amount of XP because you used a force ability before you killed it. Then of course return to the meditation point, rest and rinse and repeat. Like, it's kind of wild how fast this goes. Now of course you will need the power lift skill in order to lift up these larger targets, otherwise the tactic won't work. And then hold the button combination to have them go up in the air. Shoot the target and let the XP come in. I also use the Gambler perk to make the farm go faster because it increases the XP gains. And of course combine it with the Wisdom perk because it gives you more XP, like you see the comparison here if you use only the Gambler perk versus if you use both the Gambler and Wisdom perk. We'll leave a link to a video on how to get both perks for if you don't have them yet in the video description. And then with this you can get some powerful skills that you maybe don't have yet, like the Twin Pull that lets you grab and hold two enemies. But did you know that if you combine it with the redirected strength, that you can then also have both enemies shoot, so use them against their allies, which kind of funny. I also once had a shield in the right hand and an enemy in the left to like shoot and still protect myself. You can also grab projectiles from enemies and of course send them towards them. And with the Twin Pull you can hold both missiles, for example, in your hand and then send them back to the target. So pretty cool combinations are possible. And if you watched our best skills video, then you know that the point blank skill is a huge favorite with the blaster stance, like a great alternative to the parry, and it even works on some unblockable attacks. But there is an alternative that you can use with any stance called the parry push. This works in a similar way, only now after unlocking the skill you want to press the force push button or key just when the enemy is about to strike you. But if there are multiple targets like around that enemy, you will actually push all of them away. So it's a pretty cool AoE effect as well. The downside is that it's only crowd control, so it doesn't deal any damage, while of course the point blank can one-shot some enemies and overall deal quite a lot of damage. Still, the parry push can also work on unblockable attacks, so that's great, although it does have a slightly bigger wind-up time. So in my experience it took a bit more time to get used to it, but once you got the hang of it, it's pretty awesome. And I also quickly want to share a trick with the focused parry skill for the dual wield stance. Normally when you press the parry button or key and then release it, you do this spin. But if you do it mid-air, then the moment you hit the ground, you will immediately start a spinning attack, which is way faster. So totally tried it as well, especially nice against enemies that cannot block. Now of course, if you found any cool tactics or tricks you can do in Jedi Survivor that we did not discuss in this video, let me know in the comments. Subscribe for more videos like this. A like would of course also really help me out. You can check out our previous video on some important upgrades like all the perk slots that you probably don't have yet by clicking on the screen. I will speak to you soon. Goodbye.